Hi,
Welcome back.
welcome. We are the Galactic Federation and we are connecting to this instrument.
Yeah,
Just give
that's
us
fine.
some of your time. She's a bit excited, so we're just calming her down,
She's been singing, so there'll be some good energy there.
which is good
Mm.
because of how she feels.
Mm.
She likes the music of her, let's say, culture
Yes.
because she finds that very uplifting.
Mm.
You may ask.
Okay, today I'd like to talk about being present. Interesting topic. I'd like to know what does it mean to be present, why it's important to be present, and what are some techniques for being present.
Good question.
Thank you.
Being present, as you say, it could be described as one of the most powerful and important things that your humankind should be applying. Of course, they have the choice to do so if they wish, but we do, let's say, recommend to do so. And what it means is, well, the meaning is simple, could be described as have your senses connected to your reality in that time that you are experiencing. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
We are trying to push it a little bit more in the background,
Yes.
let's say.
That's okay.
So a little bit more of adjustments to it happens because she, as you know, she's aware of what's being said and start creating thoughts,
Sure.
as you know.
Yeah.
So she's just focusing more in what she's seeing in order to allow us more,
Yeah,
let's say.
that's fine.
So being present means be connected to your physical reality, you see. While doing that, what you are doing is focusing on the actual, let's say, time that it does not truly exist, you see. But when you are connected to that reality and you are, let's say, connecting your senses to whatever you are doing, like eating, listening to your music, work, or even nothing, just relaxing. When you are actually focusing on what you are doing, you are connected your physicality and as well that say, as you say, a spiritual side of you see. And you are connecting in the same way to the infinite creator that you also are. Because everything exists right now. We don't classify time time in existence is not classified, or it's not as how you perceive it as past, present, and future. Those are perceived by you because of where you are having your physical experience. So be present, we'll see, respecting and consciously have been the intention to focus on the moment that you are living and experiencing your creation, whatever it is. Because the experience that you have, regardless whether you like it or not, let's say, it is a reflection of your own self because it is your creation. You as creator create, regardless whether you are aware of it or you create by default, which means when you think, When you start thinking and not realizing that you're thinking, and therefore you put in your attention on something else that actually might not be happening at this moment, but because you think that is important and you immerse yourself in that reality, which is not your current reality, then you're taking your attention and you're putting your attention in something else that is not right now, you see. And that when a lot of time what will happen is you're splitting your energies, because a part of you is connecting to another reality, you see, or another potential that you have been created, and your mind is there, but you actually physical body, it is in this existence that you are experiencing. So therefore, you're not connecting that side of you that you're not able to see, as you describe that as your spirit, if you like to say, or your energy, you see, or your true self, which is light and love. You're not connecting that with your actual vehicle, let's say your body, and the experience that you're having through your body. You see, so being present means enjoying your creation right now, because a lot of your humankind, when they're thinking of other things, they're either living or focusing on the so-called future and the so-called past, you see. We do know that there are a lot of methods that your kinds do use in order to create, you see, like visualizing something that they want and things like that. But what your kind are accustomed to do, yes, is leave that continuously, you see, start thinking about things that create certain emotions. And as soon as something that you create is linked, let's say, or has produced an emotions, therefore that's going to affect, let's say, or impact your creation, you see. So what we mean is, for example, it was just allowing her to focus more on what she's seeing.
Yes, that's fine.
What we mean, for example, is your humankind can be in the so-called lunchtime, you see, and they might decide to go and eat something they don't even know what they're eating, like focusing on what they're eating, just choose something they know that they have to eat because they're feeling hunger, or they just know that 12 in the afternoon means lunchtime, so therefore they go and do that. But what they're actually doing there, it is the time that they have free, let's say, from the so-called work or job or whatever else they do in other hours. And in that time that is free time, let's say, when they're just eating, they start focusing on other things that actually physically eating, you see. But mentally, they're visualizing or thinking about things that it could be worrying there, things that they have to do later, you see, things that they can remember, something that happened, or one could lead to the other. They start thinking about something, and then something on that image that they have seen, you see, or when they talk to themselves, a word that could link to another thought, you see, to another image that somehow could be related or not completely related, but that your brain has linked that image to another image that it could be from your past, you see, and then that you focus on that, or that could lead to another one, and then you focus on that, and that creates certain emotions, and then you start remembering, and then you start feeling in a certain way, and therefore you become then, because of the emotions and because you are so much integrated with that reality of that memory of that future, whatever it is, you change your frequency, you see, and now you put in your attention in something else that it has happened, let's say, or could happen, and therefore you are not actually in that moment of your reality, you see. And then by the time you come to your senses, let's say, you have already finished eating and you haven't really noticed. Or you might have noticed some flavors while you were eating, but not truly focusing, you see. So therefore, a lot of your humans do spend a lot of time of their reality, let's say, focusing on potentials. you see, rather than focusing on what I'm doing right now. And by doing that, you actually connecting to that true self that you are. And you are connecting to the true time that exists, that is just now, you see. Because that now, it's eternal, and it can be divided, let's say, or you see it like sections, you see, past, now, present, future. You see those as sections, but you live in those sections, when in reality it's just now, but it can be divided into sections, but experiencing right now, you see. But because allowing, let's say, or connecting to that true being that you are, and becoming aware enough, or a lot of the time, to realize things, let's say, to who you truly are, then you become so involved and so focused on those aspects, and you start seeing your reality as past, present, and future, you see. And then you are in the now, right now. However, you are also splitting your energies, let's say, by focusing on the so-called future or past, even both, you see. So when you quiet your mind and you actually put the intention to focus on the act that you're doing, because, hey, it is an experience. It's a result of your creation, and you are here to create it into experience. So even the simple meals that you eat, hey, it is an experience that you have created, you see. Therefore, put time to it and enjoy it, you see. When you are with your family, hey, it is a creation. You are spending time with other people, you see. In your job, same thing. Anything you do in life, when you go so-called shopping, you see. A lot of your clients use the so-called shopping as a way of therapy, you see, because they want to distract the mind of what they're able to see physically, you see, because they haven't realized that by putting the intention and becoming aware, they actually don't need any physical, let's say, to distract their mind and not to think, but rather putting the intention that they are going to enjoy the now, and truly focusing on those physical things for their enjoyment, you see. Is that clear?
Yeah, absolutely.
So rather than say, okay, I'm just going to go and do that to distract my mind, not to think, but rather I'm going to go shopping because it feels good, you see. You're clearing your head, but you're just truly there enjoying what you're doing. And that's what it means being present, is enjoying your creation. And you might say, well, what I'm experiencing now, it's not of my liking. I didn't choose this, but hey, you did. In a way, you did. You might not have been aware of it because you have been created by default, rather than from your true self, you see, and from your awareness. You're not aware of what you are creating, let's say. But at the same time, you are. So whatever you are experiencing is a result of your creation, and as well where your focus have been, you see. Because when you think of your so-called past all the time, and most of the time, even though you are physically doing something right here, but your mind is somewhere else, well, you are creating from the frequency that is going to be higher, which is the one where you're thinking of, because you are focusing on that. You're not paying too much attention, let's say. You're not connecting that part of you, your mind, your spirit, let's say, your body, you're not connecting that together in order to experience truly what you are experiencing, you see, what you're living, but rather you are dividing yourself and thinking about those things while doing this. But because those things that you're thinking of are going to create certain emotions, excuse her.
That's okay.
Certain emotions. Therefore, your attention is there, and you go to the frequency of what you are thinking. And you might say, well, not everything that I think is bad, you see, not everything is making me feel angry or bad or things like that. I also feel happy. I just bring up some memory and it feels good. Great. That's good. However, it is also important to remain present. If you're going to travel for a bit to help you to feel good, well, do it for the fun of it, just because it feels good, you see, rather than trying to remember something to make you feel better, you see. Because then, in a way, you're not aligning with that true being that you are. You see, you are trying to use a situation in order to get something, let's say, like, okay, I have to think something else because I need to feel better. I'm feeling, let's say, bad, you see. But rather become aware of who truly you are, which is you are light, and that light can be felt as love, you see.
Yeah.
And when you say, hey, I'm actually creator, you see, because I am one with the creator and everything is energy, even my own self, you see. So when you connect with that being that you are and become aware, you start seeing things differently, and you realize that actually you do have the choice to feel happy or not, to change a situation without actually needing something external or something back from your memory to feel better. But rather you say, I feel good because I'm choosing to feel good. Even though I might not feel too great right now, but you know, I am, or if you want to say I am going to, but just affirm it as present, because present is just what exists, the so-called now, you see. And therefore, by you having the intention and say, I am happy because I choose to be happy and it feels good, then any memory that would have been good for you, you will remember, but you will look at it from a different point of view, because it's just gonna feel good, and then you're just gonna forget. Let's say you're not constantly going back, you see. So by being present, it helps you as well to even maintain the frequency of that being that you truly are, because you are putting the intention and you are focusing, you see, on the actual things that you're doing with love, you see, when you're just enjoying it. Because you can say, all right, I'm just gonna focus, and you look around and say, okay, my eyes are looking at this, my eyes are looking, but if you're not connecting your physical aspect with your spiritual, if you want to say, of that light that you are, then you are not aligning them both in order to experience life differently. Does that make sense?
It does.
So your other question, is there anything to clarify before we go on?
No. Before we talk about some techniques, I just say that after saying this to me before about, say, the food, just appreciating the food, you know, we used to just eat and have video or something on at the same time, or if I was at work, I'd be doing what you're saying, thinking about other things and not really paying attention to the food. But once I started doing that, it did taste better. You know, it actually, you enjoy the flavor. You're actually putting the attention on the food, and it was a better experience. And I'm experiencing food much better now. So we not what we eat here in silence, and we just enjoy the food and say, this is our moment.
We are going to expand on that much later.
Yeah, that's fine.
As you know,
I just thought I'd mention that.
Yes. So with that, it's an example for anything, you see. But people might say, let's say you can, well, but I like to do this, but I do that. That's okay. You do as what resonates with you, but at the same time, give that attention to what you are doing, because you are going to feel different when you are even talking to your parents, let's say, you see, when you are actually you have the intention to truly be there, you see, focusing, and just, if you are with them face to face, just looking at them, you see, contemplating the beauty, contemplating the love. It's just giving that giving that they think you are actually doing, which is listening, which a lot of you humans don't, because they just are thinking other things. They might say, oh, there we go again, you see. Or therefore they are becoming, let's say, in they are changing their frequency, you see. When they start complaining, let's say, oh, I was gonna repeat the same thing again. Yeah, I know. Or when they start thinking other things, what the actual person is saying something, but you're not giving that full of you. Let's say you're in a way, it could be also splitting your energies, because a part of you is there in another reality, and a part of you is here. You see. But when you truly engage, let's say, with your parents, and when you are having a conversation with them or with any other being, it just feels different. You're able to perceive more, you see. You might say, oh, she looks beautiful, you see. Or not necessarily meaning that you have to focus on the physical aspect of the person, but what we're saying is that you're going to perceive other energies around the person. And because regardless where the energies person is at, if you are with your true self and you are in the high frequency, hey, you're going to be able to see through those glasses, you see, through the glasses of love and light, regardless of whether the other person is at, which means you're going to have a different experience with that person, you see.
Yeah.
And that person, that energy around you, and at some moment, it could be felt by the other person, or there will be something that will help them to feel differently, maybe, you see. Something that you say, in the way how you say it, because you have been inspired, you see. Therefore, there will be a different result, a different experience from your alignment, regardless what the other person is at. And by doing that, you also becoming present. What we mean is, by you putting attention to that moment that you are experiencing with a person, even if it's just chatting, whatever it is, you see, you are creating that awareness within you, you see, that you are more, and that you are choosing to do this, to put your attention to the person, because you want to truly enjoy the experience, because in a way you have aligned yourself to experience that moment, you see.
Yeah.
So being present do help with the splitting of energies, you see. Because while you are being here physically, you have a physical vehicle who is helping you to experience things on this physical world, you see. Is in a way translating certain energies and so to this physical reality for you to experience things, you see. But when you are in your mind somewhere else, and not only in one place, a lot of your people are in many places, you see, at the same time. Therefore, you are actually taking a part of you, let's say, to other realities and putting your attentions elsewhere as well, and not truly experience that time that it is now, and that is eternal now, you see, because you are focusing on other realities, let's say, or the potentials, you see. And therefore you are even taking the experience away from you, which you came here to experience a physical life, you see, to create, to align to certain situations that you want to experience, certain things, and to know how it feels to experience that, to connect that physical vehicle that you have with your mind, with your spirit, and experience that life in that moment that it only exists now. but it is perceived as past, present, and future, you see.
Yeah.
But when you are thinking in the past or in the future, you're not thinking from the past, you're not thinking from the future, you are thinking from the now, you see. But you are putting your attention away from the now, focusing on those other aspects, you see.
Yeah.
Just wondering whether that was clear enough.
It was perfectly clear.
So techniques.
Yes.
Any question before that?
Not really, unless I say I had the experience recently. I was doing the dishes and I was just thinking about other things while I was doing the dishes, and I was thinking how I could be present, and how people often say doing the dishes is therapeutic. They can get into their thoughts and they're just doing the dishes and thinking about other things, and I actually preferred that to concentrating on what I was actually doing, which was a bit mundane. So it's like it's I know there's a sort of a split there where you're having the experience, but maybe it's one that's not that great to focus on. What do you say about that?
You take what it resonates with you, you see. What we're trying to say by staying present is to take most of your time, your attention away from focusing on other aspects most of the time, rather than focusing on the actual experience that you're having, you see. People might say, yes, it is therapeutic to do the dishes because the mind is becoming a little bit more clearer, let's say, when they're starting, because the physical side of them knows what to do and does not require a lot of attention. It is recorded in your brain how the dishes have to be done because of the so-called habit. So you're not putting your attention on how to perform something, like even when you eat, and other things that you do every day. So you're not truly focusing. That's why it takes a lot of time to actually become present, because you know how to do them without being consciously aware that you are doing that. You might just know it, but not truly being there, you see.
Yes.
So by doing the dishes, it becomes therapeutic because you know how it is done, and you're just going through that, which is allowing your brain to start thinking more, you see, which you might find helpful, you see, because that gives you time to think what to do next, how to solve a problem that you might have, you see, things that you might be concerned about, or things that makes you happy. You might remember something, because by just doing that, and there is something about that action that it might feel good, because you might even feel bored, you see. So that means you're not putting too much of your attention to the actual action that you're doing. So therefore it's allowing your mind to go anywhere according to the frequency where you are at, you see. That's why sometimes those time, even in the soul shower, you see, could be used to get ideas, you see, could be used to get an inspiration. So because this feels good, your physical body is just knows what to do, and you're clearing your mind, and you are in a state, on a frequency of allowing, let's say. So therefore you might feel good about certain ideas that might come up, or certain solutions to certain problems, and then you say, hey, this actually helps. You say it is because you are allowing it, you're not resisting it. However, when you are from a different frequency, let's say you have been doing something and you've been worried, or then you go home and you see all these dishes that needs to be washed, and you see rubbish here or dirt here or whatever it is that bothers you, and then you start complaining, you see, and you start, let's say, having an argument maybe with other beings in your household. Why haven't you do this? Why this? Or you just get frustrated inside of the mess. Then you start washing the dishes, but with a different emotion, you see, because you are in a different frequency. And you start just doing fast and just want to get it done, or whatever it is, or even if it's not that let's say in such a rush, but you are now in a different frequency. And that frequency is going to match with thoughts that you have, or memories, or ideas that are related to that frequency, you see. And that could be worries. That could be like, oh, tomorrow I have to go and meet up with this, whatever it is, this person at work that I really hate, you see. Or say, oh, I haven't paid my bills, you see. Or I don't see the money coming. I haven't got my paycheck, or whatever it is, you see. So you start worrying in that moment because you are in the habit, and your body, let's say your brain is just doing the thing for you, then it's allowing your mind to actually focus more on that you're thinking.
Yes.
So therefore, check your frequency, you see.
Yeah.
And by becoming present, you are allowing yourself to connect more with that being that you truly are. Because you're saying, all right, I'm just going to enjoy this. I'm just going to truly focus on what I'm doing. And I have the intention to even perceive more than what I usually do. And then you might start looking at your plate and say, hey, I haven't seen that flower there.
Yeah.
You see? You might have a plate with a couple of flowers. Hey, but there is one that is more beautiful, you see? It's your favorite color, or it's something, you see? Something different that you noticed. You see? And say, hey, I didn't see that there before. You see? Or even a part of the plate that maybe has a crack, you see, and you didn't notice before. You say, how did you notice this before? When did this happen? And someone comes and say, well, that happened a long time ago, you see, but you wasn't truly there, you see. But when you are present, we will say, be present, but connect with your true self.
Yes.
You see, because when you say, all right, I'm going to be present, just going to look around and stuff, but you are from a frequency that you are already creating from that frequency, because you've been feeling a certain way throughout the day or throughout the weeks, let's say. You see, like you will feeling worried, you'll be feeling upset, you just feel pressure, you feel anxious, or whatever it is, and you are in that frequency. And you say, all right, they say I have to be present, okay, I'll try. And then you say, okay, I'm looking at that, looking at this. Well, it doesn't work that way either, you see. Because you're not connecting that true self that you are with the eternal existence, the time, you see. So then, what do you do, even as a technique, as a method? Before anything, be aware of who you are and become connected to that side of you with the human part of you. Okay? You're doing that by putting the intention and making the choice. Like saying, all right, I have decided that I'm going to be more present, because the only time that truly exists is the now. The past, let's say, I can perceive it as gone, and the future as uncertain, or I don't know, you see. However, you do know, because you are going to manifest things according to what you have been creating, you see. So you can imagine the things that you want, you see, but let it go. Whatever you imagine or whatever you want already are there when you know that they are there, you see. And you just know that they will come, you see. We have expanded on that before, and we can do so more. But for now, we're just mentioning in a way of helping to become present.
Yes.
So therefore you say, okay, there's nothing truly to worry about, because the things I want, I know they do exist, you see. And I truly believe that I know they are close to me, and it's just about matching with me, and they're gonna come. So I don't have nothing to worry about. The past, let's say, so circle gone, you see, and I only have now.
Mm.
You see, like truly now. Even the bills that I have to pay later, well, you see, I leave that later because I know that I'm just gonna be able to do so. So you make the intention by saying, I choose to connect with that light and love that I am truly. And I'm going to experience my physical reality through those glasses, let's say, of I'm gonna look and I'm gonna experience life through the true being that I am, love and light. And that means by me becoming aware of my reality and what I'm doing right now, I'm going to do it and I'm going to look at it and I'm going to sense it. You see, I'm going to taste it. I'm going to hear it from that frequency or from that energy, light, from that energy that it is light and love, which is me. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So putting the intention that I am gonna become present, but I have, let's say, my mind open to the love and the light, and to see from there, you see. And therefore, whatever you experience, you just in a way even calming yourself, just allowing yourself to enjoy whatever truly to enjoy truly what you are doing, you see. Even washing the dishes, you see, having a shower, going for a walk. When you go for a walk, rather than just go for a walk because you say, I have to go for a walk to lose weight, you see, rather, okay, I'm going for a walk because it's pleasant and because I truly want to go for a walk. And when you go for a walk and you are present, you start looking at those beautiful leaves of trees that you haven't appreciated before, you see. Or even if you have seen them before, but now even you are seeing them from a different point of view, from a different frequency, and you say, wow, they actually have a lot of let's say texture, you see, and it is just different, a different experience.
It is.
So is that clear as a
It
technique?
is. It's very clear. Yeah, it is.
Is there anything else that you might want us?
No, that's fine. We've heard other techniques as well where someone might focus on their foot or the tongue on focusing on the teeth, just ways to say I'm focusing on something right now. If you're going for a walk, it's really much easier and more interesting too to be taking a look around and really noticing the trees. I've noticed that myself. You say, wow, I didn't realize this was so beautiful. Things where you don't really look around, you're just in your own thoughts. You now look at them, you notice the detail and you appreciate them and you find new beauty in things, and it feels really good. When you are looking from that high frequency where you feel like I'm in alignment, I'm very happy, you know.
Yes. We want to say that techniques like that, as you call it, focusing on your tongue, focusing on your feet, focusing on anything that you want, it does work according to from where you are approaching the technique, you see. Because if you have a purpose and you say, all right, I'm just going to focus on my tongue because I really have to, you see, I've listened that I have to become present in order to even get things I want, you see, or things like that, and you just sort of trying, you see, and say, okay. And therefore you're having a different attitude about the technique. That means you are from a different frequency, let's say, and you're going to experience the technique differently if you actually did the technique just as a way of reminding yourself that you are a creator and you just want to experience being more present by focusing on your tongue. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So you say, okay, well, it's so simple. I guess doesn't really matter where I am at, you see. Just gonna focus on your feet, then you walk and you start focusing on your feet. And when you're done, because you start dreaming, and then you come out, then you, at some point, you notice that and you go, damn it, you see. I wasn't focusing, and now you do it again, you see. And that can lead to frustration, you see, because you say, I had to be doing that and I just didn't, you see. And then you try it again and then you start dreaming again and then come back again, and that could happen. And if it happens, we just want you to feel good about it, just okay, you see. She's just playing around with your techniques, and so you see, so you can choose any of those things. The important thing is how you're feeling about it and why you are doing that. You see from that point of view. Well, I've heard that this works, so I'm gonna do it because I just feel that it's interesting. Even, you see, it's gonna be fun trying to just focus on my feet while I walk. You see, but then you are approaching from a different state. You see, and therefore the experience that you're going to have is going to be different.
Yes. Okay.
We are going to give more examples with the circle food, which is such a big topic, let's say, for your kind. But we will expand on that later.
Yeah, that's fine. No, that was really good.
So as a conclusion, let's say,
just a summary.
Becoming present means connecting that physical side of you with that side of you that you can't see, but you know you are, you see. Love and light, you see. Or that spiritual side of you, if you want to call it. You connect to that being that you are, and you experience life using your physical body, you see, which means your senses, you know, and you enjoy by putting the intentions that you're going to, let's say, enjoy and focus what you're doing now, putting your attention on the now, you see, rather than being thinking about what it was or what you have done or memories and so, and about worrying about the future and so. Okay? Because a lot of times, let's say, when you people do that, that means they are a little bit, let's say even a lot, disconnected from that being that they are, because they're worrying about how am I gonna do to pay this, how I'm gonna do that, you see. I don't see my manifestation coming. That means doubting, and doubting means not trusting, and not trusting means that you don't truly know that being that you truly are, which is just light. Let's say this light that is so infinite and could be filled through love, and that is energy, you see. And anything around you, it's energy too.
Yes.
You see, so you match to that. You see. So when you let go and you become in peace, even with past, and you forgive yourself if you have to, and you just let go, and you say, I'm just gonna focus on the now. And whenever I want to look back at something that makes me feel good, or I might just want to think for a while, for a little bit about this, it's because I am making the choice.
Yes.
And I can stop it whenever I want, rather than just not realizing that you are splitting your energies. You see, you are living here, but you're living there too. But rather knowing that this is your present and you are enjoying everything, and whenever your mind brings something back, you can say, no, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna focus on that. I am here. You say, thank you, because that experience helped me for this, whatever it is, or it was nice experience, but that's it. You see.
Yeah.
It's about everything, techniques that you call, methods, things like that. It's all out there to help you realize the true being that you are. And as the creator, you do have control over your manifestations, you see. As little as they could be, or as big as they can be. Your experiences, you see, you can truly enjoy them if you are connected with that true being that you are. A lot of people could be, let's say, in the same room looking at the same thing, but everyone might see it differently. Some other might really like what they're looking at, some other would really hate. You see, there are many things that are involved there. Why they're looking differently, or why sometimes some might like it or not. You see, like their own taste and things.
Yes.
But as well with a frequency.
Yes.
You see, you look from a different perspective, and you enjoy it more, or you have a more unpleasant experience. And there are circumstances and you might say, I don't have control over that, you see. But hey, you do have control how you are going to experience it. And in a way, that situation has been attracted, let's say, or it acts as a magnet. You are in a certain frequency, and you become, let's say, aligned with that experience that you are living. You see, it's like attracting, right?
Yeah.
However, even though it could be a good experience or a bad, or in the middle, if you want to call it, by you becoming aware of that, you can change the experience itself. You see?
Yep.
By deciding, I am going to experience this from that love side of me, and then you are going to experience that situation the best way that it can be. And you can be with someone who's totally disagreeing and seeing the situation from a different point, but hey, you are connected with that being that you are, and therefore, because of that, because of the energy that you are emitting, let's say, the situation, it's going to energetically be changed according to the energy where you are at.
Yes.
You see. So becoming present helps to not focus too much on many realities or potential at the same time, while you are actually experiencing and creating, let's say, creations.
Yes.
While you are in this physical body.
Yes.
You see.
Yeah.
So the most important thing is to connect that side of you that you are becoming aware, and put the intention that as a creator and as a being of love and light, you are going to experience your present and everything that you have created from there.
Yes.
And so it is.
Yeah.
Any question?
No, I understand all of that. It's that the main challenge would therefore to be aware all the time. Aware when you drift off. That's the thing. You catch yourself and say, "Oh, I've drifted off there," and just bring the focus back onto the present. So it's something I'm learning to, and I'm catching myself with it, but I'll get better at it.
And when you do realize, you see, oh, I just, I'm not focusing. Don't become angry with yourself, or say, you say, oh, see, I forgot, I didn't apply it. And so
it just happens.
Just happens. Hey, you're becoming aware again, and that's great.
Yes.
Applaud yourself for that. Love yourself, you see. Love everything you do, because everything, it has been put in place as well for your experience, you see. The nature, the trees, the environment where you are at. So experience from that truly being that you are, you see.
Yeah, and the food too, as I said, it's just such an improvement. And you just notice more things when you're present. It's better.
Because even you can get more from your senses.
Yeah, that's right.
See? You can see more, you can appreciate more the details. Hey, you can feel more when you can feel more the texture of whatever you are holding, you see, and you can taste more.
And you can hear more if you're aware. Just sitting down, I
Yes.
listen to what can I hear. That's a lot more than what I normally do. It's more aware of what's going
And
on.
it is practice because a part of that program that you have as a human being, this say, it's to actually repeat things, you see, because that creates memories, let's say, in your neurons, you
Yes.
see, in your brain, and then it becomes easier. It's like a math exercise. You first, the teacher first explain you what to do, and then it give you an exercise according to what it has been explained, and then you go and do it, and it might not work out, and then you do it again. You see, and you do it again, and then you say easy. But then the teacher will give you an exercise that is within that same concept that you have learned, but it might not be exactly as the previous exercise. And then you might get a bit tricky, you see, and you might start wondering, well, it's not as easy, but hey, it's in the same level, you
Yes.
see.
Yes.
Until you realize and apply the knowledge to that new exercise, regardless that it might look a little bit different than the other, you're still applying the knowledge, and then it works out.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And
So-
then when it becomes easier, then you go to the next level, let's say, a harder exercise, and then more, and then you start knowing more and more and more, and you start applying more and more,
Yeah.
and so on.
That's right. So we practice with the awareness, and if it's not there, didn't, and then just try it again, and you just become better at it. And better at noticing too, but if it's not there. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's given great things to apply, and good reasoning to why being present is very important. So we can leave it there for today.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk about this.
Yeah. I'm very grateful.
Anything that needs clarification,
Mm.
we can always talk about it.
Sure. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You need to end the session.
Okay. We'll end the session now. We'll talk again very soon.
We'll leave you in the love and the light that you are, and that we all are. Enjoy your physical experience.
Thank you.
Enjoy the now, as you call it,
Mm.
because that's a part why you came for.
Mm.
We are the Galactic Federation. We leave you now.
Bye bye.
Bye. She has closed the session too.
Okay.